Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go ahead and set the table for change. Now listen, all right? Get your knife, get your fork, get your mat. I want you to have a big bowl of change today. I know, it's hard for you. You know, Albert Einstein, and yes, I am quoting Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein once said, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. If you're not changing, you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're not being intelligent. Now, trying to keep things the way they are is a recipe for an unhealthy life, okay? I think that one of the things that, like, if I could just almost like, if I could break it down to something as layman's as, one of the things that I enjoy most about some of my favorite music artists is their ability to change. So therefore, I've always been a huge fan of, not even just based on talent, but just based off of change. Again, Mary J. Blige, Rihanna, I'm trying to think who else, Madonna. These are just people who, like, every time you see them, they've recreated themselves in some sort of way or form. There's something about people that really hate change. And that's all of us. For me, one of the things that I have always had a hard time with is how to manage my life when I get the curveball of change. I am a type A, dominant, aggressive, feminine personality, with a very masculine, I have a very masculine energy about myself sometimes in terms of control, and how I can sometimes view control. And because of that, I like to hold on tight to things, and I don't allow for much change in that realm. One of the things that I even realized as it pertains to having personal romantic relationships is oftentimes one of the issues that I've had is that I will hold on so tight that even as things are changing, my refusal to ebb and flow with it has caused the demise of a lot of romantic relationships that I've had. Now how that manifests in different ways is what it is. But change is hard, is all I'm saying. And I know that for a lot of us, not only is change hard, but in a lot of ways, we are often unkind to ourselves because we don't allow for the stagnation of change. You stay in that toxic relationship. You stay at that job that you're unhappy at. You stay in that marriage because you think you're doing some add value benefit to your child, when really all you're doing is just trying to stop change. I mean, listen, aren't we all creatures of habit? You come home, you do the same thing every day, and nothing is wrong with a habit. Nothing's wrong with routine. I think the problem for myself with a lot of you is that routine is good, but if one break in the routine causes you to fall completely off the rails, that must be examined. So as my life started changing years ago, and I realized that all the changes that were happening, I had no control over. I had control in the sense that, perhaps I could have done something differently or whatever the case is. But a lot of it was just, hey, this is the trajectory that your life is moving in. And sometimes I feel like, I don't know, sometimes like when I talk to my therapist, sometimes I like to tell her that, like, there are times where I feel like I'm just riding a wave in life. Like, I sometimes have these vivid dreams of myself laying in the water, which I'm not even a swimmer like that, but I'll lay in the water and the waves will just carry me. And then there are times that I'll have dreams where I'm like flailing, like I'm in the water and I am fucking panicked. And a lot of times in those cases, I know that that is some sort of subconscious doing of my inability to change. So of course I had to tap into that. And I had to figure out how am I going to manage my life through the change? So I wanted to share with you guys just a couple of notes on how I've been dealing with change. Now, one of the first things that I had to do in just kind of thinking about what change meant to me and what was necessary for change was I had to realize that even good things can happen that can be a change in your life, but it don't mean that it's not stressful. Like people having babies, weddings happening, you're traveling, you're getting a new job. All of that shit is all good, but bitch, it's also all stress. I had to realize I can't keep myself from feeling the shackles of stress, even for something good. Stress is like your body's way of recognizing reality. So I had to realize that, you know what? Good change can occur and stress can live at the same place at the same time. I just have to allow myself to feel it. Secondly, I had to realize that when change is happening, I have to try to keep as much regular routines in my life that I can. So oftentimes, for a lot of people, when one thing gets out of hand, it's like life just starts to tailspin. Oh, I didn't go to the gym one day because this happened and now it's been 2 weeks and I haven't gone. I didn't speak to this person and, something happened, one thing happened and the next thing happened and all of a sudden I'm off the rails and I've lost all sense of decorum in terms of routines in my life. Listen, routines gives your brain a reprieve. It lets your body know that even through the stress of change, there's still things that are going to happen every day. I'm still going to do this thing. It creates a thread of normalcy even through changing times. Here's a tip. Sometimes through change, it helps to write your routines down. And as time goes on, you check that shit off. So when things are getting crazy, I normally like to make a list. All right. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do that. Because when shit starts getting crazy, I forget everything. Nothing makes sense to me. I forgot I needed to pay this. I forgot I needed to pick that up. I have to literally make a list. And there's nothing wrong with that. I also had to realize that because I choose to not open my mail doesn't mean the bills aren't going to come. So basically, in other words, bitch, acknowledge things when they're changing. We get so caught up in fighting for things to stay the same, despite our efforts, the shit is changing, that we lock ourselves in denial. Now listen, don't get me wrong. Denial is a powerful psychological force that can be really supportive to you when you need protection. Sometimes when you just need a moment to just really come to terms with something going on, denial ain't just a river, bitch. It might be a place that you go to. I don't know about you, but I've had post-traumatic stress disorder because of something that has happened to me. And a lot of times before I could deal with what is happening, I am oftentimes in a state of shock or denial. And that's just my way to get around to this is real life. Denial, though, can also increase your stress by mentally keeping you locked in an an emotional and mental place that doesn't exist anymore. Nothing causes more stress to someone than wanting something to be different than what it is. Let me repeat that, because that's a word. Nothing causes more stress in life than wanting something to be anything other than what it is. So if you want this relationship to be different and it's not being different and you're not getting out of it and you're not doing nothing different, you are stressed. If you want this, and that's any relationship, if you want this job to be different, but it's not being different and you ain't being different about it, stress. That's why hypertension, one of the number one causes of death for a lot of people, stress. Now, bitch, you know what my other go-to is for when I don't want things to change? Bitch, I will eat. Okay? Change usually means stress, which can lead to me stress eating. And it's almost this unconscious effort, right? Most people don't realize when they got that box of Cheez-Its in front of them, or they got them that bag of Oreos in front of them. Yep, I'm talking about you. I'm reading you. Or when they have that bag of fucking popcorn or whatever in front of them, that they are almost unconscious when they're putting the shit to their mouth. They're just putting it to their mouth, putting it to their mouth. You look down, the whole fucking box is done. And you literally are like, bitch, what happened? Who did that? Because you know it won't you. I did not eat this whole fucking sleeve of Oreos, bitch. It was just, the commercial was only 3 minutes. How the fuck did I eat the whole sleeve? Unconsciously is actually how you ate it, with a lot of stress. So what I had to do to combat that is decide that I'm going to eat healthy and exercise. Now, I love junk food, period, whether I'm stressed or not. I love it. But I also know that when I'm most stressed, an apple or a carrot sends me, girl. Oh, girl. Yes. Give me that shit. Okay. Now, I don't know if you realize this, but eating carbs actually boosts serotonin, a brain chemical that may get low or depleted when you're stressed, which happens when there is change. So it's almost like your body, you ever been stressed and you crave food and you crave something bad and that's your gift to yourself? That's no coincidence. That's your serotonin levels being low or depleted and your body responding to the stress, saying, you know what what'll send that shit right back up? A hamburger, bitch. Yes. A juicy turkey burger and some French fries and some crinkly cut hard fries. Yeah. Okay. Look, bitch. Okay. You need to exercise. Exercise has actually been proven to decrease symptoms of depression. When you're stressed, working out can provide an energy boost as well as a distraction. Now, no one ever really has time to exercise. Let's make that very clear. Most people don't have time to work out. But people actually also don't have time to die. Yeah, that's not normally something that motherfuckers are booking for the day. So get your ass out there and move, girl. Yes, I'm talking to you. Move. Move it. You have to. I don't go to the gym because I want to be an Instagram model. I go to decompress. I go for the routine of it. I go to get some quality time for my body and my mind. And it's good for me. Now, it could be something as simple as a walk around the block and deep measured breaths. Everything does not have to be like, you don't have to go get a new workout outfit, bitch. You don't. You don't need new running sneakers for this. Lace up them same nasty ass old sneakers that you got. Take the insoles out because they stank. And go for a walk around the block. Go up, down, and down the damn cul-de-sac, damn it.